Here on Brewster's Farms, we have to be as frugal as possible. Sometimes that means that we have to handle things that should be handled by a professional ourselves, such as taking down a rotten tree. So stick with me and I'll show you some of the stuff that we're going to get going. Now, some tree limbs. What we're going to be using to do that is what we call mule tape. Now, if you've never heard of this stuff, I'm telling you right now, it's some of the best stuff there is. I pull trucks out, 4-wheel drive trucks with a 2-wheel drive, ratcheted myself out of ditches, heck, pulling down trees and tree limbs. This stuff's great. The way I got it is because my daddy used to be a lineman. A lot of linemen end up having this rope to pull the very heavy cables for long distances. It's really great stuff. Now, what it is basically made up of multiple fibers, almost like a predecessor to paracord. Now, in my awesome ingenuity, what I've done, just tied a piece off a piece of this onto a good old pipe wrench, proceeded to practice my throw and stick it over that tree limb. Now, as you can see, this tree has definitely had better days and should have a professional do it because of the proximity to the house and to the power. But sometimes you don't always have the collateral to go ahead and get a professional to do it. So you got to come up with something yourself. That's what we're doing here. I'm using my good old Betty White right here. We're going to proceed to hook it up to the hitch. I'll show you how it's done. We'll go from there. So, show off how safe I am. Like I said, I tied the piece of mule tape to the end of that. Proceed to throw it over the branch that I'm trying to get down. I have this other one, lovely tied right here. So what I'm going to do is pull tension all the way on it. And let me spin that so you can see. So what I'm doing is just pulling tension. The reason for doing that is so that way all of a sudden there isn't a sudden pull, because that can mess up not only my truck, but make that thing go flying. And we want to have a gentle fall as possible, so that way we don't have splinters flying through the air at Mach 1. So, what I'm going to do, wrap that around this finger, or hand if you will, proceed to just wrap this around this, good old pipe wrench, to reduce the amount, if I can manage to do it properly. Okay, so we're going to lose that tension and just tighten it onto this. Now, most hitches that I've dealt with have a nice little hook to hook into. All I'm going to do is loosen this up enough to grab a hold and not get strangled in the process, and hopefully pull this right down. As you can see, ropes around the tree limb, hooked up to the bed of my truck. Now, there's only a couple things left to do. Now, I've officially showed you how to be a cheap bastard. Problem is, I can rid myself of all liabilities for anything that you may think about doing. I'm not saying this will work for you. Now, I'm definitely not saying it's going to be safe. But, if you're running low on cash, need to make something happen, and don't want your kid to get hit in the head with a limb, this might work for you. Best of luck.